Coach, just now with the season in the rearview mirror, there's some growing pains this year in your first year, but what are some of the positive takeaways that you guys have to build on as you go to the next year?
I think we had a lot of players progress throughout the season. A lot of them being freshmen. We kind of look back on the last game against Mary, and we probably had 4 really good performances from the freshmen that got minutes. Whether it be they just figured out the intensity that they need to play at this level, or the physicality at the level. So I'd say kind of that was probably the biggest thing is having those 4 freshmen that started, and a lot of the minutes really didn't look like freshmen on the last game of the year. So that's probably the biggest thing.
As you look now to your recruiting off season, are there needs that you feel you have on the team, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, I think we have about 15 needs on the team. We're trying to bring in about 15 new players. We need to have more depth. If you look at one of the inconsistencies is because when we had injuries, we were sometimes not able to get the result we needed or play at the performance we needed to make it through that. Also, just every day at training, pushing our starters. The second team needs to be better in order to push and challenge them, so that they can be playing, pushing for playing time, and we didn't have that. So big thing this year will be bringing in high quality players and a lot of them, so that we are 20 deep. We're not 12 deep.
What can you say about the seniors and some of the returning players that you have this year about just sticking through this season?
Yeah, I told them that to stick through it and show their leadership and their commitment to the school, I think was huge for that. And keep trying the whole time. Going into Mary with nothing technically to play for other than pride, and we were able to put it all on the line and compete with that just like they have in the past. I think this is probably Mary's best team they've had in quite a while. So for us to be right there with them, I think is a commitment to where we can be, and a lot of that comes down to our seniors and the returning players.
Is it going to take like this new recruiting class to kind of really put your stamp on the team at this point?
Yeah, I think we're you hate to say it, but we're another year or 2 away from it. We've got to get these kids have got to be older. We've got to not be playing with freshmen and sophomores. We've got to be playing with juniors and seniors. If you look at every single team in our conference, the majority of their team is upperclassmen with 1 or 2 freshmen or sophomores starting, and that's going to be a lot of it. And that's what we're looking to do, and hopefully it's it speeds up as quick as possible. We bring in some of the right kids and some transfers, that can really help us. But we're there. I think we're, next year will be a lot closer. Obviously, this is an exciting week because signing days, 2 days away, and we'll know a lot more about what we have once those letters of intents come in, and that'll be exciting.
Obviously, this wasn't the year you hoped for, but with some returning talent, mainly Mel, Sophia, and a full recruiting class, how important is that going forward?
It's huge. Obviously, I think Mel and Sophia went a long way this year. Mel especially putting her in a role where she's starting every single game and having to be, a dominant force, having her, score 2 goals, big goals for us, probably have been huge for her confidence. I think, Sophia, it's been a struggle of a year for her. Started off, everybody knows we spoke about it all the time, and she was able to battle through that and really, come away with quite a few goals still this year was obviously big.
It's on Sophia breaking the school record for goals.
That's huge. Yeah, that was exciting for her to do that. Shame in the result that came afterwards. For her it was a disappointing game, even though obviously personally, you break a record, and like I told her, you still got a year left, and so hopefully she can, shatter that record and make a big stamp on the history of the program.
Coach, when it comes to recruiting, you have things to sell on, like a new locker room, playing time, a new program that's on the rise. What's your biggest strength when you try to sell the recruit, and what's something that you wish you could improve?
Our biggest strength is probably our facilities, whether it be locker room, whether it be a bubble that goes up so we can really train in the spring. Airport here in town is a huge factor. You don't have a 2-hour drive once you pick up the recruit, and that's always a tough one. So there's huge factors that go into that. Obviously, I think the culture of the athletic department too. is a huge asset for us. Kind of where we're going, every team, the support that every team provides to each other is a big thing. You know, the biggest challenge that you ever face is just the initial thought of North Dakota. You know, it's same thing happened to me when I originally thought of North Dakota. And but every kid that comes here goes, man, this is an awesome place. And so I think that's probably the huge side is once you get them here on campus, they go, wow, this is pretty fantastic. And we don't lose too many kids that we get on campus. So getting them on campus is obviously the key to that. So.